Hello and welcome to my channel, PawfectPastimes. My name's Amanda and I live in southwest England in Dorset with my husband and my 3 dogs, who you'll see or hear through the video, I'm sure. There's Remy curled up there, and Willow, that's Willow there, and she's the one who sighs and makes strange noises. Don't you, Willie? Sorry it's been such a long time. It's been quite an eventful month, really. I'll go through that at the end, I think. I know you come here for the crafty stuff, not necessarily for other things. So I'll do the usual format in probably finishes, whips, and what I've started, and any purchases I've bought while I've been out and about. So grab yourself a cuppa. I've started the Halloween. You'll see Angelica's just there and she's in her spooky apron ready for the season. I've just started putting out my decorations, moving from autumn to Halloween, then I'll go back to autumn for a while as well. Excuse me. And the first thing we'll start with was what I have finished, and I am wearing my Anker sweater by PetiteKnit, and it's done in a top down. The yoke, it's slightly under the arm, longer than I'd like, but that's fine. I can wear big shirts under it or other sweaters under it. It's a nice length on me, I think. And the yarn I've used is the PawfectPastimes. I'll just get my book out. No. I just hope I filled my little journal up. I can't find it now. £127, there we go. Yes, the PetiteKnit Anker sweater, my boyfriend size, and I've made this in PawfectPastimes, Sans Garn PawfectPastimes in colour 1065, which I think is grey melange. I started it in May and I finished it in September, and it took so long because it is a beautiful proper sheepy yarn and it's very, very warm. And the summer was so hot, I really couldn't work on it. I did go over this in more detail in my last podcast when I had it on Clarice, I think, but I've actually finished it. And I did say I was going to do some stitches in these little grooves, if you can see the little stages all the way around. I did try it, but they didn't sit quite how I liked them to, so I took them all out again. I did find in my collection of necklaces this big silver grey one, which I think just zhuzhes it up just enough. I don't think there's much else I can say, really. You can do, she does do the summer tee, the Anker summer tee, and I think there is a summer sweater, which is the ladies one, which I think is why she called this one my boyfriend size, which I don't like, as you know. So you could always size up the other sweater that she does. But for me, who likes slobbing around in a big sweater for dog walks and being quite cozy now, it's absolutely wonderful. You can see the little halo from the real sheep, little guard hairs in the yarn, and I smell sheepy. If you've seen my short or Instagram, you will know the field behind the house has now got a huge flock of sheep in it, and I smell like one of them. I think I could walk through one and they wouldn't tell the difference. But anyway, yes, I did size 2, I think, because it's such a large piece. No, I did 3, size 3. And my tension was good. and I'm really pleased with it. There's 4 repeats on the neck, top down, and I'm already feeling quite warm on it. It's 19 in here at the moment because John's had the heating on, but if I get too hot, I'll just take it off later. Another thing I managed to finish a couple of weeks ago was my Florentine's blanket. Now this is a pattern by Sandra of the Cherry Heart podcast, and I'll see if I've got it the right way around for you. Not that it matters much. And it was, that's how wide it is, and it's a bit longer. So it's a fabulous lap size, and it is all made, the central medallions are all made of 20-gram mini sock yarns held double. So there are 24 used up sock minis there, which is fabulous. And some of them are colours I wouldn't use in other ways, like the pinks and that orange. I'm not a pink or orange person really. I really love that one there. But together they just work fantastically. And the last time I showed this to you, I was on the hunt for the background yarn and the joining yarn. And I'll see if I can find what I need to tell you about it. I am not having a good week, so I apologise, sorry. The chemo is really bad this week. Anyway, let me see what I can find. I've just remembered I haven't cleared out my bag I used. This is the bag I made that was a project from Babylon Leather, and this held my Florina blanket easily. Great project bag, for a great bag for a project that size. Now then, as I said, this is by Sandra of the Cherry Heart, the Florentine's blanket, and the yarn I chose for the backgrounds to all the little squares is actually a DK, because we're holding the centre medallion double, fingering weight double. I found a DK that's got a tiny fleck in it. I hope you can see the colours. It's got all the colours that are in the medallion parts. And you can probably see it better in a bit of a ball I got left there, you see? And this yarn is King Cole Merino Blend Superwash. And this is shade 3801 Tyree. It is 96% pure new wool, 4% viscose. So the fact that it's a merino wool means it's worked brilliantly with the sock yarns, because they're all merino too, with a bit of nylon. And it's washed beautifully as well. So I was so pleased to find there's a nice part with some of the flecks in it there. A pale yarn that I was happy with. And the joining yarn was an interesting choice. This was a 4-ply, and it's King Cole Rebel. and this colour is Rage 5885, and one ball had the right length in it to do all the joining and make it a whole blanket. I'll just hold that up for you again. And a lot of these colours are in the blanket, but because I wanted to merge the colour, and I had two balls, I used the centre pull from one and the outside from the other, and made sure the two colours didn't really come together too much. So where there was blue on one ball, I was on the browns on the other ball, and most of the time I managed to hit that, and it blended really, really lovely. Sometimes I got the two blues together, but I don't mind. It's absolutely brilliant. I love it. So you can't really tell in those joining pieces there that those two striping yarns made them. But there's browns and yellows and blues and creams, and there's a brown and a yellow and a blue green and blues, and I think that came out really, really well. I didn't find the instructions for the joining of the squares very informative. She gave you the instructions on what she did around one of them and then let you figure out the rest yourself. There was no, you have to do a row of this by going round 3 sides and joining the 4th side to the next, or anything like that at all. You had to work that out yourself. Either that or I totally missed the plot on the pattern, which I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, it could have done with a bit more explanation about the joining process of these squares, but I managed to do it anyway. And also this beautiful little pom-pom edging. Her pom-pom edging was quite complicated, I found, anyway. So there was lots of ins and outs twice and things like this, and I didn't like the look of my pom-poms. They weren't coming out nice at all. So I just did normal bubbles, which is, I think there was 7 trebles or double trebles drawn together. And I think they make just as nice a bobbly edge. Took me half the time. I wasn't frustrated, and they're a darn sight neater than what I was getting with the other way. So those are my only 2 comments on the pattern itself. But the centre medallion was spot on. Absolutely loved doing it. The outer was fabulous. The joining was brilliant once I got my head around it, but that was more through experience than reading the pattern. And yes, the edge bobbles was the only thing I changed. And I absolutely love it. It's just perfect for snuggling under the on the sofa with the dog, which you have no doubt that I will be doing. I've got my daughter staying this weekend, so she might nab it actually, so I might hide it. And there's a quarter of it there. I'm over the moon with that, and the best thing was it just wanted to be made. It just kept wanting to be made, and I couldn't put it down, which was really, really, really lovely. I could have done with it the past week actually, rather than when I did finish it. It was off my hook so fast. It was unbelievable. So that is the Florentine's blanket, Sandra Paul of Cherry Heart. The other finish I have, you've probably spotted, and that is Olivia's cardigan. It's just come off of the towels because it's cotton, 100% cotton, Yes, it is woolly, and I've forgotten. Oh, here it is. I just put the blanket down on the things. It's 100% pure cotton by James C. Brett. And because it's 100% cotton, I just put it down on a damp towel, sandwiched it and put another damp towel on the top, and it's flattened out beautifully. Don't forget, Clarice is probably a size too large, really. I shouldn't have her on here for too long. But to be honest, I think it's going to fit my daughter before my granddaughter. This colour is shade IC16 Sage. A lovely, lovely soft green. And as far as cottons go, it wasn't too bad to use, to be honest. But I did intersperse it with like the Florina and other work. And the pattern is another James C. Brett pattern, JB675. Bottom up. Very nice to make. I enjoyed that very much. The 3 little buttons are from Stash and they match perfectly. So that's 3 less buttons in my stash, which I'm over the moon with. Like most of you, I'm sure, I've got a vast collection of buttons. Now let's get rid of some of the debris. I'm finding bits everywhere now. Okay, now because I was in a finishing mood, I haven't really got on well with my whips. The one whip I had was left after doing this, which I'm really enjoying wearing actually, was my Florina, and I haven't got the pattern, but I'll put all the details in the description box below. But Florina is, that's Viola. Florina, where are you? No. No, that's a Florina scarf. It's not Florina. Viola. FJOLLA by Isabel Kramer. Viola, Isabel Kramer. And I've done this in Drop Soft Tweed colour 03. And Drop Soft Tweed is 50% merino, 25 alpaca and 25 viscose. And I chose this because I like the colour. It's been screwed up in my bag. There's a little front medallion thing, neckline detail, and I chose this because I like the texture. I like the fact that it's slightly bobbly, this yarn, and it's giving a lovely hopsack look to the back, and I'm enjoying that. I have finished a sleeve. And I have just started, I've just picked up the other sleeve. And I tried it on and it's lovely. So I'm going to try and get that finished a bit more for next time. Hopefully finished totally for next time I see you. One sleeve to go. I've spoken about this several times. I've just got to pick up the neck. Did I get the tension? They asked for yak lace held double, which 21 stitches on 3.75. Because I'm using the drops, I'm getting 21 stitches on 4mm. They had 30 rows, I'm getting 28, but you can fiddle with the rose length, can't you? So I think I'm making size 4, which is a finished 45, but when I finished it, I will let you know what it actually finished as. I didn't take the measurements of this anchor actually, which I should have done really, but yeah, it's a nice fit. I think it's going to block beautifully. and it's a lovely, lovely, lovely yarn. I'm really impressed with that. So that's what I am going to be focusing on for the next few evenings, I think. I must have the pattern over by my chair, I think. Right. Okay, now, seeing as I finished 2 things and I've only got the Fiola on the needles, I did start a couple of other things. If you've been here a while, you'll know I bought yarn for the Compton sweater, which is a pattern by the Knitting Shed. Compton by the Knitting Shed, women's saddle shoulder pullover. It's got these heart details around the bottom. It is bottom up, but it's still in the round. And the yarn I bought to do it was Drops Lima in colour 1701. It's a bit tealier than that. No, I can't really get it to show you. My LEDs aren't kind on blues or reds, but there we go. And I cast it on the other day, and all I have done is on quite a small circular is the welt with its pre-pattern parts, as you can see, and I've got to do a bit of a setup row next, which will be the base of the hearts. So I need a bit of time when I can sit at the table or my desk here and really focus on that, because I think the placing of the hearts at the bottom, and if you look at the sides here, there's a little triangle of texture that goes up the sides. There's 3 hearts in the middle, and I'll have to put my stitch markers where that pattern repeat is and where the side panels are, which the triangles that come up the side. I've been looking forward to doing this one, but I haven't had the urge to start it yet, but I have now. So I was pleased to go and get that off the bed and start casting that on. And I've got that in my Eldenwood Crafts bag, which is a nice big bag of the village. And everything's in there nice and cozy together. So that is one thing I cast on. I don't like going mad with cast-ons, but seeing as I finished 2, why not? The other thing I cast on was some yarn I have had for quite some time. It's discontinued, and it's called King Cole Panache double knitting. It's been discontinued for a few years now, and this is shade Chestnut, and I really like this shade of brown. It is a double knitting, but it's quite a fine double knitting. I can't remember what I'm getting stitch count wise. I am getting 22 stitches on it, yes. So it's right, but compared to some other double knittings, it seems quite fine. It will possibly bloom and plump up anyway. And I'm using size 4mm. I'd started a slip over with it, and I really didn't like the pattern. I couldn't get the sighting of the pattern around the V-neck coming down very well. So I put that on hold. There's the bit I did. I kept losing where the pattern was going, and because I'd put it down for a year or so, I didn't have the enthusiasm for it anymore. So I looked through my Ravelry of what I wanted to make, and I found the Friday Slipover by PetiteKnits, and I started that. And on this one you start at the back and pick up and go down the fronts, and my pickups I'm really pleased with. Can you see the pickup? It's that row there. There it is on the inside. Look, I made doubly sure that I got the grooves in the right place. There's the sleeve, and it's a broken rib, one round knit purl. Got a pickup for the welts on the sleeves and the neckline. But again, this has just flown off my needles. It's funny how some do that, isn't it? Really, really, really enjoying that. And I've got a good way down the side. I think I've got 2 inches to do from that marker, and then the welt at the bottom, the ribbon at the bottom. Then I got to do the neckline and the sleeve armholes. I'm not putting sleeves on a waistcoat, it's the armholes. Now this yarn is 50% wool and 50% acrylic, and it feels lovely. I really, really am enjoying using it. And I've got 4 balls, I think. So that's used 1.5 balls, and I'm going to have so much left over. I'll have to see what else I can do. It's a really lovely yarn. There's a texture on the inside, which is almost nicer, to be honest. On her picture, she has the contrast colour on the edges. I obviously haven't got contrast colour for this, so it'll all be the same colour. But it's again another thing that's just knit itself, really. I love picking it up, and I keep thinking, no, I must pick up something else instead. Anyway, so that's all I've been working on, and that's all of my knitting and crochet. I did start the sewing of the bauble things. I drew a 3-inch circle, and I just filled it with bits and bobs, and then I repeated it on the other side. I did both of them at the same time. I've just started blanket stitching them together. I cut around the edge in a pinking shears, and the blanket stitch sits nicely in the V's there. But I've had a few issues with my eyes, and I'm struggling with the sewing, which has been a bit annoying. But as you can see here, I've got all my felts out. Here's my 2 drawers of just sequins. In my little sketchbook, I've got a few other things I want to get on with, but I've really had struggling problems, so I'm not sure where I'm going. I tried doing the community pages, and Dawn from Dawn's Days, please go and give her a look if you can, because she's just started her channel all over again, so she needs lots of channel love if you can give it to her. She managed to put a post on with her own picture, which was fabulous. But as far as I can work out, you can only see the community and the pages and post yourself with pictures on a phone. And that's not what I was hoping for at all. I was hoping it could be for you who use laptops or tablets, that we could all join in together and work on something together. But it's not doing that. But I will put in some stills of what I've done so far with the little baubles I'm making with felt. That's just a 3-inch circle, lots and lots of stitching and beads and sequins, and when I was doing it I was enjoying it very, very much. I've got a few other patterns to think of. Now, anything else to talk to you about? Oh, I've had a delivery from Blue Fern Yarns. If you're doing the Gods and Goddesses sock yarn club thing. The October one is Demeter, and that's the one I've got, so I'm going to show it to you now. So look away now if you don't want to see what it is. You should have had it by now, but that is Demeter by Blue Fern Yarns. That's a 50 and a 20 sock set. So I'll add that to my little collection of socks to do. I've put it away now. You can look back. I've been getting on with a Hecate, but it's a tube knit, and it's what I've been using in the car. So it hasn't got that far. It's about 8 inches long. That's all. And I think that's all I've got to show you this time. I have got a purchase. I last saw you at the end of September, and a week and a half after that, the one of the side effects from my chemo is I had mouth ulcers, and I had 7 mouth ulcers on the tip of my tongue and 3 on the inside of my lip, and they were very, very painful, and I couldn't concentrate on much, and I was trying to watch the Ryder Cup as well, so I was struggling a little bit that week. And then I think 2 weeks after, we went to Pembrokeshire, went back to our usual lovely place to have a week's break with the dogs. It's a place they can just run around. There's plenty of room around them. They got the sea, and they just love it there. And we done some trips out. And one of the trips I went to Haverfordwest, and they're redeveloping all along the riverbank there. And there's a new shop. She's been open a year, and she's called Random Stitches. I think her name's Michelle. Random Stitches, not on. No, I thought I had something with her. Oh, Melanie. Her name's Melanie. And I had a nice look. She's got some nice yarn. She's got a whole wall of Knitting for Olive. I think that was the one. Brain's still fuzzy, sorry. Yeah, and it was nice to have a real look at. I don't think many places here actually hold it, and not as much as she had. She had the whole range. It was lovely, and got nice selection of things in there. And what I bought was a knit your own mini ram's head kit, and he comes in this lovely bag. The colour of the horns on the bag is an indication of what's his horns would be. There's about 4 colours, I think. And the yarn inside is Sheppy's Stonewashed XL. That's the sheepy colour. I've just dropped his eyes, and the in there is his eyes and the embroidery yarn. I'll fold that over so I don't drop them again. And that's the colour of his horns. And there's lots of stuffing. And you even get the plaque to put him on, which is brilliant. I haven't really looked in this yet, so you're seeing it for the first time with me. And there he is. There's Knit Me in 2 sizes by Sincerely Louise. And there's the 2 sizes on the back. I think this is the smaller one. Does it say that? Mini. Yes, the mini. This is the smaller one. But you can see how much bigger the bigger one is. That's huge. I only wanted the little one. So I'm chuffed to bits with him. And if he only takes a ball of each colour, that can't be bad, can it? Probably seen her at shows. Yeah, there she is. So that's by Sincerely Louise, Knit Your Own Ram's Head. Which is another thing I wouldn't mind casting on soon. Oh, I nearly left his eyes out then. Okay. Other than that, yeah, she's down in Haverfordwest on the riverside. So if you're going to Pembrokeshire, Wales, go and have a look. They're redeveloping the area. They've just opened a new bridge, which was a bit controversial with some of my local friends there, but it's a lovely bridge and it connects the main high streets to the side of the river that the yarn shop's on. I was over the moon to find her. So this week I have been waking up with very swollen eyes, bags under here full of fluid, and my eyelids full of fluid, and they take a while to open up, and my eyesight's been a bit strange. I've been okay with knitting, but it's one of the reasons why I haven't been able to do much fine sewing. I've got my consultant on Monday, so I'll probably end up with another load of somethings to sort that out, I expect. I feel like a hypochondriac. Every time I turn up, there's something else dropped off or doing something wrong. But there we go. I've struggled with the head a few days this week. Lots going on in my head. Just gone through the 3rd anniversary of losing my son. So that's not been a good place to be. Another reason why it's taken me so long to sit down and talk to you. And I know you're all lovely, but sometimes you just can't put yourself out there. But I did. I've done it now. And I'm happy to be back. I'd like to try and get out to you a bit more often, to be honest. But sitting down and putting things together is complicated sometimes. I've got my daughter and my grandson arriving later today, which I am really looking forward to. They're staying for the evening, going home tomorrow. Not sure what we're going to get up to. I think my grandson's going to be talking fishing with my husband, is Papa. He's just discovered fishing. He lives right on the waterfront in Bristol, in Somerset over there, and he's been chatting to a few of the fishermen when he's out on his walks with his mum, and he's been going fishing with a little rod, and he's crabbing like all little 9-year-olds do, but he's shown a real interest in proper fishing. So he's been quizzing John, his papa, and I think his mum might have bought him a new fishing line and a fishing kit, so that's probably what most of the conversation's going to be about. Probably take the dogs out later. I am incredibly thirsty now. I need another warm coffee, even though that's been sitting on my hot pad. And I can't think of anything else to tell you. I haven't even looked at some new vloggers to share with you. I'm a bit out of sorts. I apologise. Hopefully back on track very, very soon. I might wander around the garden and go and talk to the sheep with my Anker sweater on. They might recognise me for a fellow sheep. So wherever you are, stay safe, stay creative, and I will catch up with you all soon, I hope. Bye.